Hey, welcome to this week's Dev Diary. I'm Alan, and this is Mora, A Journey in Time. So it's been an exciting week, and we're going to be looking at Azure Nature, the asset pack. We're going to be looking at phasing of houses, a new portal. We're going to be looking at the redesign of the terrain, and also we're going to be looking at a nice little inventory on the player character with the animations. So let's get to it. So as already mentioned, a lot has happened this week. It's been a really good week for progress. I've been thinking around the story a lot more about what I want to actually get out of the game, what I want the player to feel, what I want them to do. And that has in turn made me put in game mechanics and helped me work out game mechanics that I wasn't quite sure how to do before. So we're going to look over a couple of those. So you might be able to see here, over here we've got a phased out house. So that's to do with the storyline. The house is actually phased out in time. I'll go over the story in a little bit more detail in a little while. We've got a portal over here. That's how the player is actually going to get to this island and this place. So you'll probably notice it's a future theme, but then we've got this lovely island and we are actually going back in time. You'll notice over here as well, when you look at, I'll just turn gizmos off, you see the E. So we've got a press and hold mechanic, which I'll show you when we get in game. And there's a lovely mechanic on the player as well, which I quite like. I jumped into animation. So as I said in my last dev diary, this is completely new to me. I'm a programmer by trade, but doing animations, doing game design, that's something that I've never done before. So this has been an interesting week. A lot of learning has been taking place. So I'm excited to show you some of the things that I've been doing. But one thing you've probably noticed that's very different from last week's dev diary is the nature. So I've got a new asset pack installed called Azure Nature, and it's just absolutely stunning. I spent a little bit of time in Gaia setting up the rules so that things would spawn in the way I wanted them to, trying to make things as natural as possible. So for instance, we see we've got a bunch of flowers here. Normally if I was doing a set of rules, I'd have flowers dotted around all over the place. But what I try to do here is have a bunch of flowers. So it creates a little field of flowers, and then you won't see one for a little while. So let's go over here and see if we can find another one. And there's another one there. So there's another bunch of flowers, and the blue ones are always set up to go with the pink ones, and they'll spawn at a minimum of between 5 and 10, I think it is, with a set spread. So we're not seeing flowers dotted everywhere, but when you do see them, you see enough of them, and it looks quite nice. And we've got a similar thing going on with the trees as well. And generally speaking, it just looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. And we'll have a walk around later and we'll have a look at how it looks when you're actually in game. But one of the main reasons that I wanted to do this with this pack is you've probably noticed the fact that the game objects are phasing out. So it's got LOD on there. So for the people that are new to this, it's level of detail. So if I just turn gizmos back on, we can see when you get close to something, it's got an LOD of 0. So at that point it's showing full details. It's showing it the best quality it can. But when you start zooming out, you'll notice the LOD here on the right starts phasing out as well. So it shows less and less as you go, and eventually it just gets to the point where it's culled. Sorry about the Gaia gizmo showing there. And that's the wonderful thing about it. So it'll help optimize the game as you're playing it, which is really good. So Azure Nature, such a fantastic asset. Really, really pleased with it. I've still got more work to do. I'm not completely happy with everything yet, and I want to get some more trees in there. You'll notice we've got nothing happening on the sandy areas at the moment. So if we were just to go over here, it's looking very bare. So I'd like to get some more stuff done on the sandy areas, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with that just yet. So about the story, I didn't mention anything on the story last week, but essentially what we're looking at is we're with a human race, and we're set at a time in the future, and we're a spacefaring civilization. Now the human race, it's a dominant species within our galaxy. It is the dominant species, but there's an alien race who are technologically fantastic, but their numbers are nowhere near that of the humans, so they could never challenge the humans' rule. So what they're trying to do is go back in time to change things then. And that's where these little things come in, like the house. If I go back over to the house. So this house at present is in what I'm calling a temporal phase shift. I might come up with a better term, I'm not sure. So it's in a temporal phase shift, so it's not really in the same time that we're currently in. And the whole point of the game is for the player to, one, come to this world to stop this alien species destroying time for humans, but also to get back again, because the idea is that this portal isn't going to be working once you've come one way. So you've got to fix your portal, you've got to fix all the buildings, the villages, the towns, however it ends up turning out with that, and it's going to be very much puzzle oriented. So I'm really looking forward to getting that aspect of the game in place. I think for now it's probably worth jumping into the game and having a look and seeing what's been done. And here we are, in game. So we've got our portal there. So we're going to be starting off on the space station. You'll come through, there'll be a bit of story, you'll come through and you'll basically land here. And we can really see this Azure Nature stuff just popping really well. It looks so nice. And of course we've got the sunset going down. I probably should have changed the time. In fact, let me do that real quick. Let's put it to the middle of the day and then we don't have to worry too much about the lighting. So we see here we've got our house, and it's in what I'm calling this the temporal phase shift. So this is a new mechanic that I've added. So when you get close to this action, you get the E, and you hold down. You can't really see it with the blue there, but you'll see a little blue line spinning around here. So you hold it down for X amount of seconds, and then it does something. So what I've done now is I've activated this house. So I've attuned myself with this this temporal shift. So it needs work. It's a quick thing that I've got going to get the concept in place, which I'm really happy with. And now obviously we can go in the house, and I still need to get it so I can walk over objects, but for now that's not a huge priority. But you can't get out of this phase shift, but if you were to go to this E again, I'll try and get the camera so you can see the blue thing this time. There we go. So it's taken us out of that shift. Now you can walk around the building, because that's technically not there. It's in another phase. And something else I mentioned about the control panel as well. So we press Q at the moment. It's going to be tab, but you press Q, and then we get our little control panel. So what this is going to be, there's going to be a few buttons on that control panel. It'll show your log, it'll show your inventory, things like that, and then press Q again. And I really like how that's turned out, because it's just the way the hand comes up, then it comes on, and the animations have been, it was a pain to get started with. I tried it in Blender initially and it just wasn't working out, but then I moved on and did it in Unity in the end. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. So let's go and have a look around the island again. We won't go all the way around like we did last time, but we'll just have a look at a few key areas. And obviously we'll walk underwater, as you do. So this is one of the things I was on about with the rules. There's little bits that I need to sort out, because they shouldn't be spawning above the ground, but it's totally configurable within the Gaia rule set, so that's not a problem. That's just me setting it up wrong. But it's just so nice having the bits of flowers around here, and then you're looking over here and the trees just look fantastic even at a distance. And this Azure Nature pack actually comes with some nice effects, some particle effects, so you can see the leaves dropping. It's quite a popular pack, but it's just turned out so well on this island, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how things are going to develop with it. So just walk up here, we'll take a look at a few more bits over here. And we can see the LOD filtering in here, so you see along here as you're walking, the game objects will come into view, and they'll get prettier and prettier as you get closer, which is really nice. It leaves us with a lot of scope for doing things and making the place look pretty, which I'm really pleased about. So it only takes 10 minutes to go through it and have a look at what we've done, but a week's worth of work, and it's been really good progress. I'm really pleased with how things have gone. So if you like it, then feel free to thumbs up, leave a comment, feel free to pop any suggestions, any ideas. I'm happy to implement things, and just throw them at me. Thanks for watching. Bye.